Welcome back to another episode of Judith Unhinged. Glad you're watching. This show, we're talking about wolves in the Netherlands, Blackpink and Jenny news this week. I'm talking Love is Blind, His and Hers, Agatha Christie's Seven Dials, podcasts like Boy Problems, Flightless Bird, and Armchair Expert. And we're closing with something cute about dads, which I'm really looking forward to. But first, let's get into some Dutch news. So, in the Netherlands, a school closed because of a wolf. So, what happened, right? So, there was a wolf sighting, and it was near a school. So, they decided to close the entire school. It is so interesting. I looked up how many people were fatally harmed due to a wolf in the Netherlands across time. Guess how many? 0. And they closed the school because they saw a wolf. There wasn't a wolf at the school. There wasn't an incident with a wolf nearby. There was a sighting of a wolf in the general area vicinity. Now, there was, in 2025, there was a 6-year-old that was attacked by a wolf at some point. It was, of course, it was traumatizing. I'm very sorry for the kid, but it wasn't anything too bad, right? But there's that. And I'm just so surprised by this. So just to explain the Dutch education system, right? At 4, elementary school starts. You go to that from ages 4 to 12. We call that elementary school. And then we have high school, middelbare school, which is from 12 till 18. Your obligation to go to school, so your parents' obligation to get you to school, runs from ages 5 till 16. So before that time, you're allowed to do whatever you want, and after that time, you're allowed to do whatever you want. But in between ages 5 to 16, you have to go to school. Okay, there's no choice. And then if you would like to take a beautiful trip around the world with your kids and have some fun, or if you want to go for your 25th anniversary and you want to take your kids to Japan for a couple of weeks to experience a different culture, then you have to file in a request with the school, and you have to do this for everything. But okay, let's take the Japan trip, which we didn't go on. No, we did. It was amazing. But the Japan trip, right? So 25th anniversary, fantastic to give your kids that experience, right? To be as privileged to do that. And then you say, like, to the director of the school, the principal, you say, like, hey, we want to go because it's our 25th anniversary, can we? And they say, no, you can't. You have to go in a school vacation. You can't just go willy-nilly with your kids. If you want to get one day off, you can get one day off for your anniversary. 25 years. One day. Okay. So it's very rigid. You can't just go like, oh, today, we have this great opportunity or this event, or let's go somewhere. No. You can't possibly do that. You have to file it in like at least 6 weeks before and do it that way. So then they just close the school for a day because they saw a wolf. This is so weird. It is so weird. It is so funny. And it is so weird that they did this, especially with our education system. It's just insane. That's the Netherlands for you. We have fun. We're scared of animals because we don't have any deadly animals. I think we have some like little snakes, But other than that, we don't have any animals that could really harm us. We deforested the entire country, so all the animals moved away. Like maybe they have some in Germany somewhere. We don't have that. We don't have rabies. We don't have anything like that. With the climate getting more warm, we do get like a little bit of bigger spiders, but not really. So it's very different than in other parts of the world, but they do have to be mindful of those animals in the wild, and it's not like that here. It's so funny that they closed the school just because they saw a wolf somewhere. I think that's hilarious in any case. In Blackpink news, because I'm representing, as you can see, we finally have a date for their comeback. So on the 27th of February, their new album, mini album, is releasing. I'm so excited for this. I cannot wait. I wonder if they'll do more tours, and I'll have to see if I can schedule that in. So on top of the Jennie album, I don't know if Lisa or Rosé or Jisoo are launching any new music this year. I maybe Rosé will, because hers was like the first solo album that released. Anyways, I'm so looking forward to this year and music from them. It will be amazing. Jennie did another award show with another version of like Jennie and another beautiful performance. But honestly, I'm still listening on repeat to like her Melon Music Awards performance. It was so fantastic. It was amazing. I really love it. She did Soul City, she did Zen, and then she did a like Jennie mix that was out of this world. And all like perfectly, it was just amazing to see. If you haven't seen it, go see it. In other news, Love is Blind news. There's a new series coming, by the way, just before Valentine's Day. So I'm looking forward to that, like the original series with Love is Blind. That will be fun. But I watched Love is Blind Germany. If you love Love is Blind and you're not watching the other ones, like the ones from Germany, France, Brazil has one, I think Italy had one. Am I right? I don't know. But there's a bunch of them out there. The Netherlands is filming one. I can't wait to see that one. But I know they said they were filming it like 2 years ago. So where is it? I want it. Give it to me. But apparently I'm not getting anything. But I watched Love is Blind Germany. I love the other countries. My top is Love is Blind Japan. It only had one season. I don't know why. It was such a lovely look into the Japanese culture. It was so successful too. Like there were two people that got married. They have kids. They are still married. I follow them on Instagram and they seem fine. I don't know these people. But they seem like, it seems like a very successful season, because the other ones, right, they just like, maybe some get married, but then they break up after a year even, like they get divorced. So I don't know, like the UK one, oh, that was drama, right? They got married and then all of them got divorced within a year or something. It was insane. Anyways, Love is Blind Germany, 5 couples, 3 made it to the altar, 2 said yes. But what I want to talk about is the pods. Andy, big, like he's very tall, German Andy, was dating 3 women. And finally, after much deliberation, he picked one. So he's gonna go for this one, right? So he's gonna break up with 2 other women. Ugh. I mean, even that he got into the position that 3 women wanted to date him. I'm like, sorry for that pool. But anyways, so he met with one and he broke up with her, okay? They had a talk, she was disappointed. She thought like, okay, I'm over this, let's go. No, not let's go. Here, you have a letter in front of you. Give this to so-and-so, because that was a letter in which he's breaking up with the second person. So the first person at least got to talk to him. Not that she asked any questions, at least not that we could see on camera. But the second person just got a letter from him. Are you kidding me? She then, I believe, requested some time with him and yelled at him. And I think that was very fair. How could you, in such an intense process as Love is Blind in the pods, break up with someone over a letter? I've not seen that, and I think I'm up to date about all the versions across the world. So yeah, Andy is something something. Guess what? Guess who didn't get married? Huh? I wonder why. I don't know. It's not a like past behavior isn't a prediction of future behavior at all. No, not at all. Then there was one interesting couple. I think they were my favorite. He didn't want to have kids. So that's a big one. And I really do not understand that you would participate in Love is Blind if you don't want to have kids. Like, okay, the older folks and you're looking like you're already past that phase and you're like 50 plus and you just looking for a buddy, fine, do Love is Blind, have fun, go nuts, doesn't matter. But when you're in that age range from, let's say, 25 till 35, which is usually the range that they're in, and you want to build a family, right? You want to get married because you want to be together to have a family, then why would you participate in Love is Blind? And all the women also rejected him. He's a nice guy. He was very stereotypical white guy. He was a nice guy, and the lady did choose him and then get married to him as well. But she has to give up her wanting children. She has to give up that option, and she's not like, she wasn't that woman that I was, for instance. Like, I have to have children. I want to have. This is what I want to do. So she never had that strong sense of wanting to be a mother. But still, it's a lot to give up for love, right? You can have more than one special connection in your life. I do not think there's only one person out there, says the person who's been with the same person all her life, but I don't think there's one person for everyone for all their life. I think you can have multiple connections. I also think you need to make it work with a person. Apart from like abuse, get out of that situation. But apart from that, and you just have annoyances and stuff like that, then work through them. Think about, why am I feeling this way? What am I not communicating? And try to solve it together as a partnership. Nothing will prepare you more for building a family together than getting through things like that and really fixing your relationship and working on it really hard. That's what she said. And I just think it's a lot to give up for this one person. I don't know. I don't understand why he would still want to get married, and I don't understand why you would give that up for one connection. In the Netherlands, if you get married, then everything sort of is arranged, but you can also do that by not getting married, by having a contract. But if you get married, then everything by default is arranged. So if something happens to you or your partner, then everything goes to the kids. The kids are immediately your kids, like the product of the marriage. And that really makes things a little bit easier. If you're not married and you're having kids in the Netherlands, which you can also do, you're free to do that as well. But like, the man has to acknowledge that the baby that she's carrying in her uterus is his, an acknowledgement of the fruit. Acknowledgement of the fruit. That's really what it's called. Erkenning van de vrucht. And it's crazy. Because also, like, if you're married, you can still, have sex with other people and then have kids with other people. So, but by law, it's a product of that marriage. So it's just such a weird, but in any case, the practical reason to get married is doing that, all of that, and that is all arranged, at least in the Netherlands. And you know, we separated out. You can still marry for the church. I'm leaving religion out of this discussion. I'm just talking about marriage for the law. And that's what that is. So I was really surprised that they got married. I do see them as a very strong couple. I think they will have a lovely life with or without children, whatever they decide. I think you can have a beautiful, beautiful life without any children. I don't think that's the issue here. It's just a lot to give up for love. I finished His and Hers. I'm doing an entire series on that next week. It was very interesting. And there was a plot twist at the end. And I'm a little bit upset about it. And I will talk about that some more and do some funny takes on it. Never take me too seriously in these videos, people. In general, in life, don't take me too seriously. But the plot twist at the end, you know, like in The Sixth Sense, I see dead people. There was nobody seeing dead people in His and Hers. But it negates all that we've been through as viewers, because they kept stuff from us during the entire show on His and Hers. And then at the end, whoop, look, all this information that you didn't have before, now you have it. Look, this is the plot twist. And I'm like, no, that's not what you do. That's really annoying that you did that. And I'm upset with you. So be prepared to see me upset next week talking about this. We'll have some fun. It will be funny. I'm also watching Agatha Christie's Seven Dials, which is more of another murder mystery. I hope this time the mother didn't do it again, but who knows? Maybe she did. And it's set in between the First and the Second World War. So it's really a period piece. It is absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. It is so much fun to see that, to see London back in that day, and to see how beautiful it all was, to see the lovely UK countryside. At least I hope they filmed it in the UK. Maybe they went to Australia or New Zealand or something. Or maybe Eastern Europe. I hear a lot is filmed over there these days. But I can highly recommend it. I haven't fully seen it yet. There's a lot of talk about secret societies. So did they call cults back in the day secret societies? Is that an algorithm-friendly word to talk about cults? Which is one of my fascinations. Why am I not in a cult? I should be in a cult. Oh, it's one of the missed opportunities of my life. But that was really fun. I can highly recommend that show. It's very good. The Boyfriend, I'm watching that one. I just started it. It is such a cool show. It's a Japanese reality show where you have a bunch of guys dating each other. Well, are they dating? Is this Japanese dating? I have no clue. I don't know. Because I'm not Japanese. I can't say. But they're living with each other for 2 months and they're working together. These guys specifically, because I'm watching season 2, and they're starting a coffee shop. Not a Dutch coffee shop. That's an entirely different thing. It's very interesting because it's kind of groundbreaking, right? In Japan, where the queer community isn't as accepted as it is, for instance, in the Netherlands. So it's very interesting that these Japanese folks that are so conservative but also so protective of their private life, that they go on TV, international TV, and just proclaim, hey, I'm gay and I want to spend my life with this guy. It's very interesting to me that they have the courage to do so. I applaud it, and it's beautiful to see. It's so cute. They write each other letters, so at the end of the day, they get a prompt or whatever. A lot of it is done through text. I guess they're in touch with someone and they get a text with an assignment. So they had to go to their rooms and write a letter to someone and then put it in their letterbox. And it's so cute. Who writes love letters anymore? Tip to my husband, write me a love letter. But it's so incredibly cute. Oh, I can't tell that because that's about my, it's anyway, you know what's cute to do? You should put like, as a mom, you should put like little notes in your kids' lunch boxes. They'll love it. Pro tip. That's a tip you can follow, well, if you want to. What I find so confusing about the boyfriend is that there's commentary. So I'm used to like a show, doing a show, and then having an episode of commentary, like Love Island, right? They had just a regular episodes, and then they had sort of a catch-up episode where everyone reacted about what happened. No, the boyfriend, it happens in real time. So while I'm looking at the boyfriend, they're commentating about what happens. Listen, I have face blindness. I do not know who these guys are. And they were sending each other love letters. And I was like, I don't know who sent who love letters. I can't remember names, let alone Japanese names is even more difficult for me. And then also I hear other people talk during the apps. Do you know how confusing this is to me? It is so ultimately confusing. I do not know who these people are that are giving the commentary. I guess they're celebrities, so I guess people in Japan must know them. But I don't know them. I don't know who they are or why they're saying what they're saying. They look very nice, especially the women. They have interesting haircuts. But other than that, it's like, what's happening? I don't know. And it just confuses me so much. So I'm sticking with it. I think this can be a really, really cute show, like on the cuteness level of like Love on the Spectrum. I think it can be like that, but I'm so confused about the commentary. And I think that that's just the thing I have to get over with and see it as a novelty. But I'm not like my kids who can game and then watch a show at the same time and on their phone as well. Like, one of my girls is really into The Rookie, and she's just TikToking while watching The Rookie. And then I listened to the podcast Once We Were Spacemen, and they had the creator of The Rookie on, and Nathan Fillion was talking to him, and he was saying like, yeah, people like watch our show while doing other things. And yes, that's exactly what happening. Like, he described exactly what my kid was doing, which is so interesting. In podcast world, so we had Flightless Bird, and previous episode I talked about the pet cult, and I was so hoping there would be a cult of pets making people do their bidding, a secret society of pets. Wouldn't that be awesome? I could write a book about that. I will note that down as an idea that I should work on at some point. It turns out there was an actual cult. Religious cult. I think they were worshiping both Satan and God, like Lucifer, and they were wearing robes, and it was just awful. It was very bad. And they kind of sanitized themselves and started a company. And now they're a pet company. And but some of those leaders are still in that company, and they're still running the company, and they still have like some sort of a home somewhere where they all live. And I'm just like, can you do that? Did they do that? What's happening here? And David, he did ask them to respond, and they didn't respond at all. It was so interesting. They did threaten him a little bit. Yeah, but it was really interesting to see that story unfold, and extremely disappointed that pets aren't more organized. Cats, what are you doing? You're supposed to be the big evil here, so why not get on with it? You know, you have an opportunity, go for it, do it. But no, they're not doing it. So, okay, that was Flightless Bird. On boy problems, Liz Plank was as chaotic as always. I love her. And she was talking to Anna Sitar, who I didn't know before. But it was interesting to see the two just babbling on. And they were talking a lot about vision boarding. And vision boarding is interesting to me, like cutting out the images and then putting them together, or visualizing your year, or doing things like that is not me. It's just like Pinterest. Like I've never got into it. But it's just so not me to visualize things or to think so much about how to do certain things, or about what you actually want, and to note that down, visualize it, or to tell yourself things, and give yourself mantras. It's so not me. I'm more. I do think about things, but I'm more like something comes into my life and I follow it, and then I do something else. People around me are having fun watching the show, okay? They're having fun seeing what else I'd come up with. And like 20 out of let's say 25 things that come my way, I don't do. But then some I do and I stick with, and some work and some don't, and you feel, and you start over. You start a show online, because why not, right? It's so much fun. But that was really interesting, so I'm not at all into that. And then we had Armchair Expert with Kumail, and talking about bodies. I love that episode that they did with him and someone else. And they just talked about their bodies all the time. I'm fascinated by it. I did have a time where I was really into fitness culture, and then I noticed like maybe I'm in a cult. So maybe I was in a cult, and I had it back then, and now I don't have it anymore. I don't know. But it was interesting because they, at some point, Monica and Dax and Camille were talking about, if you're in a relationship and your partner beefs up, like they get ripped, is that bad? And I just thought, like, what are you talking about? That's life, right? Things happen. People change. You can't expect someone that you meet when you're like early on in your life that they're still the same person at the end of your life. Are you kidding me? That's not the gist at all. I'm talking about physical appearance. I'm talking about personality. There's so many factors in your life that changes who you are to your core. Having kids, what that does to you mentally, but then also to your body as a woman, but also as a man, right? It changes you completely, how you view the world, and how you make choices, and there are so many life-changing things that happen when you have a long-lasting life partner. And really, it's just a show, right? It's like every couple of months you have someone new, and it's interesting and it's fascinating. And at least with us, it's never boring. It's really fun to see your partner change and to see their growth, or their decline, and help support them, of course, in a loving way, well, most of the time, and have some fun together. I think if someone decides, hey, it's now time to be in my fitness era, and to get totally ripped, they should go for it, and the partner should be supportive. I think that's the sign of a great relationship, is when you are able to take risks, to do what you love to do, and to do it with the support of your partner. I think that's so important. Freedom to me is something that is extremely important, and I need that support. I also need to be told no every now and then. Like, you know, that idea of starting a pet cult where cats rule the world, that's not what we do here. No, you can't do that. That's going too far. Just stick with your show online. and do that instead of the cult. Never say never, okay? Cats, are you listening? I'm here for you. Then let's end on something fun. I sometimes think that made me giggle, but also just made me fall in love with dads. There was a dad, and he was recreating his daughter's looks online. So she posted photos of her, let's say in a cute dress, strapless dress, and going like, I can't do this. And then he was recreating that photo. Maybe I should do that. No. See, I'm telling myself no. And he was recreating those photos, and it's so incredibly cute. I love it when loved ones tease each other. I think teasing is the best thing out there. I think my friends will say, you go too far, Judith. And then I tell them, yes, I go too far. I think embarrassing your children is a very important parenting skill. If you're not doing that and you're afraid to emotionally harm your child by embarrassing them in public, I would say you're missing out. You're missing out on a very important parenting rule. You can imagine with going in public with me, I always embarrass them, and then they sometimes stop me and say, "Why are you this way?" And I say, "Well, who cares? There's nobody around who knows us. We can do whatever we'd like. No harm to anyone else, just a little bit of crazy behavior, just good fun. Like singing really loudly while you cross the street and stuff like that. It's just cuteness. And I have no shame. I can do those things and I can embarrass my daughters. And what they'll learn is my mother is so crazy that nothing anyone will ever do to me will harm me emotionally. I don't think that's entirely true, but that's what I'm going with. So I thought that dad was so cute. I think dads should do this everywhere and just recreate the look. And if you don't want your face online in a cute dress, then just send it to your daughter. She will be nicely embarrassed. And if you have her friends and you can text her friends, then oh no, maybe don't do that. I'm thinking along with this is not a good idea. But just embarrass your kids. It's cute, it's fun. Don't do anything too out there. Just keep it cute and hilarious, and they'll love you for it. We'll get back to you on that one. That's it for this episode. I hope you like chatting with me. I like chatting with you, and see you in the next one. Bye.